Okay, so today's topic is what are salient features of a research proposal or essential components or headings you should consider while making a research proposal. So, first of all, is title. A title can be description, a question, and it shall be narrowed down. It shall leave impression on the reader. Why it shall be narrowed down? Because if the title is including whole globe, like biodiversity of the whole globe is under threat, you are doing research on the topic, you'll have to consider the whole world and responses from all of the globe in your research. That's quite difficult. So better if it is narrowed down to a specific region or a small area or maybe a continent. That creates more ease. Then is background. Background includes introduction of the topic and what is circle of impact and some rhetorical questions, to signify your topic, to develop interest of a reader in your research. Then is keywords that include all the related words that hint about the research topic and set the research in a specific domain for a reader. For example, if you are doing research on why rape is arising as a major problem in Pakistan, it can have keywords of rape, harassment, assault, violence prevention, victims, etc. Next, features of research proposal include problem statement, that is a crucial element of a research proposal. It is a general statement outlining the problem, that initiated the research. It involves stating problems and mentioned separately to create impressions. There arise a lot of problems when a researcher start doing research. That's a logical thing. And there are areas of concerns, difficulties, or points that need attention. So simply defining them as a statement or putting them in a statement as a problem statement, it helps the reader to get to know about the importance of the topic being studied, and it places the topic in a particular context. It can set a framework for reporting the results. So, research problem statement is of crucial importance. Then are objectives, that what the researcher set milestones. What milestones will be achieved or will be crossed while doing this research. It can be determining the factors, determining the attitudes, outlining the factors, pointing out problems that solemnly onto own researchers' thinking. Then are research questions, that are usually the questions that arise during research, and the researcher takes them in consideration to take the problem deep. So another important point is hypothesis formulation. Hypothesis formulation is actually summarization of all your observations in a logical statement. A statement that can be subjected to testing and further experimentation. When you start a research, you start it from observations. You study all the researches that have been done on the same topic, and you collect data on the topic now. So if you are doing research on reduction of wildlife in Australia, then you can give out a hypothesis that destruction or burning down of forest is the reason behind. It can be a statement that can be right or wrong, and you'll only get to know if it's right or wrong when you experiment it, when you test it. Then is variable identification. So there can be three types of variables in a hypothesis. They can be dependent, independent, and intervening. Independent, that are not affected by intervening or dependent, and dependent, that are depending upon independent variables, like the first one that I told. that burning down of forest is the reason of reduction of wildlife in Australia. Reduction of wildlife is a dependent variable. On what it is depending? It is depending upon burning down of forest. Then is literature review, that is basically reviewing all the data that has been researched and compiled related to the same problem. It includes primary and secondary data. Secondary data is what people or folks or the rest of the world has already researched, and they publish it on videos, on interviews, books, articles, or research engines like Google. And primary data is what you collect yourself by interviewing people in person. Then is significance of the study. Significance of the study, as the name indicates, it highlights importance of the research and outlines the primary concerns as well as the possible impacts. You have to give statement about what is importance of your research, what good would it bring, and why was it important to do this research. Then is defining the term. So a lot of terms are used in researches that are non-comprehensible to the reader, like FIR, MLO, capital punishment. If a general reader is reading the research, there is a condition that he might not understand what is being said. So it's better to define such terms for the ease of the reader. Then is delimitations and limitations. So limitations are defects or failing of the research, the areas where the research is not applicable and it might fail. For example, while doing the research, collecting the primary data, you might not be able to contact a mass of people, So mass reach becomes the limitation of the research. It does not cover all of the people. And time span is another factor that can cause the research to fail, or insufficient responses collected from the people regarding your research. Delimitation, on the other hand, are the factors that could not be controlled, but they affect research anyway. For example, research might be delimited to a specific area only, or a group of specific people only. Means it is not concerning all of the people. So next is research method. Like, what was the method adopted, data information, how the survey results were analyzed, how the data was incorporated. This is included in the research method. And expected result. These are general comment on the research or analyzation or overview or defining outcomes of the research. Giving a general remarks that what do you expect, what results this research would give. And then last is bibliography, that is an important factor, that you honor the sources from where you collected all of your secondary data and you mention references. The general referencing style of a research is APA referencing. It is also called bibliography. That's how a research proposal is composed. That's all.